Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Werner, the City of St. Louis Sustainability Director. Been charged with overseeing implementation of the City of St. Louis Sustainability Plan, which you probably know is a triple bottom line plan that balances the environment with social and economic considerations. We've been at climate protection for about a decade now. We have conducted several different greenhouse gas emissions inventories. The city has met the rigorous terms of the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy, and we've developed a climate action and adaptation plan. But in 2017, all of those efforts were ramped up to a whole new level when Mayor Krewson came for her administration. It was not soon after the former President of the United States announced his intention to leave the Paris Agreement. Mayor Krewson demonstrated from the very start her climate leadership by signing on to We're Still In, the Climate America's Pledge to take climate action at the local level. In addition, Mayor Krewson commissioned a climate vulnerability assessment so that we could understand what kind of impacts climate change was having or was being predicted to have on the people of the city of St. Louis, who was being impacted potentially most disproportionately and most vulnerable to climate change, like extreme heat. In response to those studies and the information, Mayor Krewson charged us to accelerate our climate action at the local level. She encouraged us to apply for the Bloomberg Philanthropies American Cities Climate Challenge Award, and the city was selected as one of 25 across the United States and has enjoyed tremendous technical support over the past couple of years, including the addition of additional staff capacity with a climate advisor, and you'll hear from Maurice in a few minutes. But this wasn't also enough. Mayor Krewson asked us to be very ambitious and bold in our thinking in taking climate action at the local level. She raised the bar, set new standards for achieving climate protection. She set an ambitious carbon neutrality goal, reaching carbon neutrality by the year 2050. That is no small task, and it is going to take an awful lot of participation and continued support by not just city departments and individuals and a number of different partners in the community and across the country. We've been very fortunate to have their partnership so far. But carbon neutrality is a multifaceted and multi-pronged approach. For the city, that includes everything from building energy efficiency, renewable energy, carbon sequestration, and of course, vehicle electrification. That's what we're here today to celebrate, and you're going to hear a little bit more about in just a moment. I'm just going to close by expressing how we got to this day. It took an awful lot of ingenuity, technical expertise, hard work and efforts on the part in particular of city staff and members of the Board of Public Service. In particular, I want to thank Chris Amos, our Commissioner of Equipment Services Division, and also our Commissioner of Facilities, Rick Ernst, for their hard work and dedication. They've really made this come to pass because when we saw an opportunity with the Volkswagen Trust Mitigation Settlement Funds that are available at the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, we, with their help, found a way to make lemonade out of the lemons of vehicle emission scandals of Volkswagen. And so the city was successful in receiving and leveraging those Volkswagen Trust funds, and in partnership with Ameren, Missouri, and their newest commitment toward moving away from fossil fuels and toward more green, renewable energy, they are offering rebates that will help install electric vehicle charging stations. So we have been able to tap into these resources, and where there's a will, there's a way. Mayor Krewson provided that will, that political will, and charged us to find the way, and in partnership with the departments and many in the community, we have found that today. So thank you for being here. I turn it over to Mayor Krewson and appreciate all of her leadership she's demonstrated to get us to here, where we are today. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. But I do want to give a huge thank you to Catherine Werner. She was very generous in ascribing credit to me for much of this, but this would have not happened. None of this would have happened without Catherine, and of course without the Bloomberg Climate Challenge grant that we were able to receive. By 2030, not that far away, only 9 years, it's expected that at least 1/4 of all vehicles sold globally will be electric. Think about that. 25% of all vehicles on the roads will be electric in just 9 years. And so it's very critical, of course, that the city of St. Louis continue to model its own behavior to be ready for the future and truly to lead the way. And so today, I'm very proud to officially unveil, as we drove up here, in the city's newest 100% electric vehicle, zero emission Chevrolet Bolt EV. Purchased from St. Louis's own Don Brown Chevrolet. Give them a hand. We appreciate that. Thank you for being here in the city of St. Louis. And used a portion of the $423,000 that the city was awarded from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. We know that about 9% of greenhouse gas emissions emitted by local government comes from our own vehicles. And so these 4 EVs will not only help various departments serve our residents and our businesses, but they'll also do it in a way that improves air quality and overall health of our residents and our workers while reducing our own carbon footprint. In just a few minutes, I'll be signing in a new executive order that will grow our fleet of city-owned vehicles even more and create significant opportunity to save taxpayers money over time. Executive Order number 68 directs all city departments during the procurement process to prioritize the selection of electric vehicles over vehicles powered by conventional fossil fuels, provided the EVs, the electric vehicles, meet our operational needs and are cost effective. At first, we expect that this will only be applied to smaller vehicles and light-duty vehicles, but could expand over time to include medium and larger size vehicles, electric vehicles, as those models become more available. As an aside, maybe some of you saw yesterday the United States Post Office announced a huge purchase of electric vehicles to deliver the mail over time. So it's coming. It's coming. Electric vehicles have been associated with many health and environmental, financial benefits, including, of course, lower fuel operating costs, lower maintenance costs, no tailpipe emissions that contribute to air pollution. So tackling climate change at the local level is sometimes tough because it means change, which is always hard. But we continue to show our steadfast commitment to the city to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. And you know, I know that sounds like a long way off, but for any of you that, you know, are a little older, you'll know that 29 years ago was not that long. And so 29 years from now will come before we know it. So there are so many people to thank for this. Of course, Catherine Werner, huge shout out to Catherine. She really has been the driver behind allowing us to make these bold decisions. Don Rowe, Director of Planning, Scott Ogilvie in the Planning Department, thank you all as well. Board of Public Service, Equipment Services, Facility Management, especially Todd Walterman. Where is Todd today? Is he here? I don't see him. But Rich Bradley, Chris Amos, I see Chris here, and Rick Ernst. Of course, as I mentioned, from Planning and Urban Design, Catherine Werner, Don Rowe, Scott Ogilvie, but also from the Board of Aldermen, two very instrumental alderman in helping us move forward. Alderwoman Heather Navarro. Heather, where are you? There you go. Give them a little hand. And Alderwoman Sarah Martin, who could not be here today, but they helped us with the legislation through the Board of Aldermen. And then again, thank you to Don Brown Chevrolet, a good city business. We appreciate being able to do business with you. We are so proud, as Catherine mentioned, to be one of the 25 cities chosen by Bloomberg to participate in the American Cities Climate Challenge. Some of you will remember just a couple of years ago when Mayor Bloomberg himself was here and we were in Keener Plaza accepting that award to be one of the 25 cities. And that has been so helpful to us. And with that, we got another bonus, which was the addition of Michaela Muia, who's here. And you will hear from him in just a minute. He is the Bloomberg Climate Advisor to the city of St. Louis. So I'm thrilled to be here today on this beautiful day as we look at our new electric vehicles and our new charging station. You will begin seeing these new charging stations all around the city because you got to be able to plug them in, right? So more of these will be installed over the next month or 2 months as we begin using these vehicles. And I really look forward to the time when the city will continue to lead the way on electric vehicles and on climate initiatives. So important for all of us. And not as important for me as it is for my kids and future grandkids. This is not about me today. This is not about some of us who have been here for a while. This is about the future and what kind of planet we're going to leave for our kids and grandkids. So thank you all for being here today. I want to turn it over to Michaela McGoy.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mayor Krewson. Thank you, Catherine Werner. I would like to thank you today for taking the time to hear me out today. Today, we are here to celebrate what the city of St. Louis has done to set a standard in the Midwest when it comes to transportation electrification. As the first ever climate advisor for the city of St. Louis, I would like to thank Mayor Krewson, city staff, the Board of Aldermen, and the St. Louis region for making what you see in front of you here today possible. The American Cities Climate Challenge and our national partners, which includes a lot of people to help make this happen, as Catherine and Mayor Krewson have said, did the hard work together with the city to make sure that electric vehicles and electric vehicle infrastructure can prosper for those in North City and South City, just as it does in the Central Corridor. And that's very important to see. We have passed the most comprehensive EV-ready legislation in the Midwest, if not the country. And Alderwoman Navarro was the lead sponsor for that. And that's in your city, the city of St. Louis. This means that others in the region will look to our example to formulate mobility solutions, which encourages and promotes vehicle electrification for all. In just the past 2 years, I'll give you a little tidbit of what we've done throughout the challenge. We have made new buildings across the city solar ready. That's in law and in action right now. Beginning in 2022, new buildings will be required to be EV ready. And we have secured a U.S. Department of Energy $1 million grant that will electrify senior transportation programs in North City and South City. We should all be very proud of that. There are even local incentives from Ameren to make transportation electrification an easier lift. So in all that to say, this is a perfect storm of the public, the private, and the community. So imagine what we could do by 2030. Thank you.
I think now we're going to, I'm going to sign Executive Order number 68, which basically states that as long as a vehicle is within 5% of the cost, an electric vehicle is within 5% of the cost of a fossil fuel-powered vehicle, the city will choose that electric vehicle, assuming it meets the requirements of the job. So that's in a nutshell what this does. Oh yeah, I'm signing on the roof of the car.